under the guidance of two visionaries, Mr. Abai and Dr. Anirudh, who have this capacity of forward thinking, because power dynamics are fast evolving, and power centers are moving, shifting from the Atlantic to the Asia Pacific very fast. And as I was explaining, Russia and India have a special and privileged relationship for a very long time, even before the collapse of the USSR. It was the case already. But we do believe that the potential of cooperation between Russia and India is still
opened up. So in a sense, we're looking at the Asian century as something that's already here. But in terms of last year's meeting in Kazan, the point of the BRICS still remains a great question to be answered, right? So what are we as countries? We're not in the same place. We are dispersed around the world. But what is the positive goal of BRICS is a great question, and what is the positive goal of the Asian century is also a great question.
Deeply in today's world, literature, as we all know, has been a bridge between cultures, a force that transcends boundaries and a powerful instrument for diplomacy. As a global perspectives, we are proud to create this platform for meaningful conversations that inspire change. In fact, in an era where global narratives shape societies, literature, storytelling, and diplomacy are more intertwined than ever today. At ALF 2025, we will explore how words influence geopolitics, shape cultures, and define our shared human experiences. From fiction to non-fiction, from poetry to policy, we will delve into the power of storytelling in diplomacy, governance, and personal identity.
Javed Akhtar, one of the finest lyricists that Bollywood has ever produced, and till today, his lyrics form a large chunk of the music heritage of India. There are also a few journalists whom I have to square up, like Rajdeep Sardesai. Is he coming? Is Rajdeep coming? But about me, I joined the Foreign Service in 1989. I was initially allocated to the Indian Police Service, but then shifted to the Foreign Service in the same year. My last 3 assignments include being Minister Political in the embassy in Moscow, which I recall very fondly. My career began in the former Soviet Union. I was doing ambassador for Jayev way back in the winter of 1990. Most young journalists like yours may not have been born. But then I had a chance to go back in various capacities. One as a chief liaison officer for a BRICS summit.
My name is Abhay Chebi. I am the Pro-Chancellor of Alliance University, Bangalore. Alliance University is pretty unique in many different ways. We are the first private university not just in Karnataka but in South India. We are also the first academic institute to have a literary festival of its own, and Alliance Literary Festival that began, or rather the genesis of which took place in 2022, has had many versions of it. This time, Alliance Literary Festival 2025 has a much broader and a bigger scope. We call it the Asian Century, where we've invited authors, writers, translators, poets, artists from not just the state, not just from the nation, but also internationally. We are about 25 countries plus folks and writers who will be joining us, exchanging ideas, bringing about their books. There would be a couple of book signings. To talk more on that, I've been joined by my colleagues. I'd like to hand this over to Dr. Anirudh Sridhar to give you an overview of the literary festival.
Sure, absolutely. I'm Dr. Anirudh Sridhar. I'm the Dean of Thought Leadership at Alliance University. And as Mr. Abhay Chebi already said, the theme of the festival is the Asian century. So what we want to discuss is basically the setting of the western sun and the rising of the eastern sun, and basically how this is going to be interpreted and impact us in the century to come. The Asian century has just begun. As far as I can tell, no university or festival has taken on this bull by the horns and said, this is a huge topic, but how is it going to play out, right? So we're not pretending to give you answers, but we are going to be the hub and the sort of epicenter in India as well as in Asia, where these issues are going to be discussed, and we hope to come to some sort of profound insights in terms of both culture, geopolitics, thought and art, how the Asian century is going to play out. And for this we have writers not merely parochially from Asia, but also from Europe, from Africa, from the United States, everybody coming together as one sort of international family to discuss what the Asian century will mean. And as many of our panelists have already said, this is not to sort of put our chests out and bluff about a sort of new colonial order, but rather to see how sort of the economic and other kinds of power shifts to Asia are going to have a really a rethink about how nations are going to live together in harmony. For this we have some very famous Indian authors such as Mani Shankar Iyer, such as poets like Javed Akhtar, and we also have personalities, diversity not only amongst nations but diversity amongst fields, such as Anil Kumble will come to talk about, Anju Bobby George talk about how sports, Asia is rising in sports. We have journalists such as Rajdeep Sardesai, we have political thinkers, we have filmmakers, we have animation artists. We have Sanjay Patel, who's an Indian American director and chief animator of Pixar. So we have a wide array of people coming in to talk about films, literature, and so on and so forth. So it's going to be we're hoping and we are confident that it will be Bengaluru's biggest cultural event. Thank you.
This is not for the first year I'm in India. It's already more than 15 years at various postings in New Delhi, with some interruptions, pauses, but anyway, this is, you see, my romancing with India, it lasts for a long time, and this is the country which I really consider as almost my second native land already.
Tumpa santosha.
This is a very diverse country, certainly. My first posting, this is my first posting in the south, and my area of responsibility is 5 southern states and plus Pondicherry, and certainly even comparing my stay in New Delhi and here in the south, I can tell you I just see what is the unity in diversity in reality.